The key turned in the lock with a click that echoed like a gunshot in my chest. I pushed the door open to the cozy cabin, expecting solitude after the world's longest drive from Seattle. But there he was, Isaiah, broad-shouldered and rumpled in a flannel shirt, staring at me like I just crashed his funeral. "Who the hell are you?" he growled, his voice rough as gravel, eyes narrowing under that messy mop of dark curls. And in that split second, as rain hammered the roof like it was trying to drown us both, I realized I'd booked the wrong damn place and the right damn disaster. I dropped my duffel bag on the welcome mat, water pooling around my boots like spilled secrets. My phone buzzed in my pocket, another frantic text from my ex, Mark, begging me to come back to our sterile apartment in Capitol Hill. But I ignored it. This trip was supposed to be my escape. A week in the Washington woods to lick my wounds after he shattered our 5-year relationship with a casual, "I'm not sure about us anymore." I'd typed lakeside cabin near Leavenworth into Airbnb, hit book without double-checking the dates. And now here I was, invading some stranger's sanctuary. The cabin smelled like pine and fresh coffee, a far cry from the takeout boxes and regret I'd left behind. Isaiah didn't move from the armchair by the stone fireplace, his legs crossed like he owned the world, which, apparently, included this place. He was maybe 30, with a jawline that could cut glass and tattoos peeking from his sleeves. The kind that screamed, "I've got stories I don't tell." "Look, man," I stammered, holding up my phone like a white flag. "There's been a mix-up. I'm Daniel. This was supposed to be my rental." He snatched the screen from my hand, scrolling with a frown that deepened into something almost predatory. "Dates overlap. Host confirmed both. You're shit out of luck." I laughed, a bitter bark that surprised even me. "Great. Just what I need. Stranded in the middle of nowhere with Mr. Hospitality." Rain lashed the windows, turning the forest outside into a blurry watercolor of evergreens and mist. Isaiah's eyes flicked up, locking on mine, hazel, piercing, like he could see the fracture lines in my soul. For a heartbeat, the air thickened, charged with that unspoken thing that happens when two guys who are both a little too raw meet by accident. He handed back the phone. "Fine. Crash on the couch. One night. Then you're gone at dawn." That was how it started. One night turned into two when the storm swelled into a nor'easter, roads flooding like the tears I've been holding back for months. Isaiah thawed, just enough to share his whiskey, top-shelf stuff from a distillery in Walla Walla, and we talked. Or rather, I spilled. About Mark's slow fade, the way he'd stopped holding my hand in public, whispering, "Not here," like our love was a dirty secret. About coming out at 22 in a small Oregon town, the bruises from my dad's Bible-thumping fists, the relief of fleeing to Seattle's rainbow sidewalks only to find that acceptance came with its own fine print. Isaiah listened, nursing his glass, nodding like he got it. "Sounds like bullshit," he said finally, voice low. "Love shouldn't make you feel like you're apologizing for breathing." By the third day, the storm broke, but we didn't. Mornings became ritual. I'd wake to the sizzle of bacon in the cast-iron skillet, Isaiah flipping eggs with a precision that hinted at a life beyond this hideaway. He'd built the cabin himself. He admitted over coffee on the porch, divorced from the rat race of Portland's tech scene, chasing quiet after his mom's death from cancer 2 years back. "She was my anchor," he said, staring at the lake where mist rose like ghosts. "Taught me to fish, to fix engines, to not give a damn what the neighbors think. Now it's just me and the trees." His laugh was self-deprecating, but his eyes held a shadow, something he tucked away like a loaded gun. I found myself drawn to him, the way a moth ignores the flame's heat until it's too late. We hiked the trails around Icicle Creek, boots crunching over pine needles. Trading stories about the queer underbelly of the Pacific Northwest. Drag brunches in Pioneer Square. The pulse of Capitol Hill pride. The quiet ache of rural isolation. One afternoon, as we crested a ridge overlooking the valley, golden aspens shivering in the breeze, Isaiah paused. "You ever feel like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop?" he asked, breath visible in the crisp air. I nodded, throat tight. "Every damn day." He clapped my shoulder, his hand lingering a beat too long. Warm through my hoodie. That touch ignited something, a spark that promised fire if we dared fan it. Evenings blurred into intimacy without crossing lines. We'd split a six-pack of local IPA by the fire pit, stars wheeling overhead like they'd conspired for this. Isaiah had a playlist on his old Bluetooth speaker, Springsteen anthems mixed with indie folk from Seattle's scene. Songs about broken highways and hearts that echoed too close to home. One night, after too many beers, I confessed the real reason I'd run: Mark's affair with his straight coworker. The text I'd found, the way he gaslit me into thinking I was paranoid. I trusted him, I whispered, flames dancing in my vision. And he made me feel like loving him was the mistake. Isaiah's face hardened, jaw clenching. Some people aren't built for the weight of it. They bail when it gets real. He poked the fire, sparks flying like accusations. Then, softer, "You're not the mistake. Daniel, you're the guy who shows up." His words wrapped around me, a balm on old scars. I leaned in, our knees brushing, and for the first time in years, I didn't pull away. The kiss happened slow, tentative, his lips tasting of hops and hesitation, mine hungry for proof that I could still feel alive. It deepened, hands finding waists, but we stopped short, breathless, foreheads pressed together. "This cabin's got thin walls," he murmured, a grin cracking his vulnerability. "And I've got regrets enough for both of us. But regrets have a way of creeping back." On day 5, while Isaiah was out chopping wood, his broad back flexing under a faded mariner's tee, axe biting into logs with rhythmic thuds, my phone finally charged enough to pull in service. A voicemail from my sister. "Lena, back in Portland. Dan, call me. It's about Isaiah. You need to know before you get hurt." My stomach dropped. How the hell did she know him? We'd met 3 days ago. I dialed, heart hammering as rain started again, pattering on the tin roof. "Daniel, thank God," Lena rushed. "I saw your Instagram story, the cabin pic. That's Isaiah Hale's place. He's complicated. Ex-military. Sure, but he got discharged under don't ask, don't tell vibes, even though it was after repeal. Rumors say he assaulted an officer who outed him. And there's more. His family's loaded. Old Seattle money. But they cut him off when he came out. He's got a kid, Dan. A daughter, 5 years old, lives with his ex-wife in Tacoma. He sees her on weekends, but it's messy. Custody battles. The wife's using his lifestyle against him in court. Promise me you'll steer clear." The axe fell silent outside. I deleted the message, hands shaking, but the poison seeped in. Isaiah, with his easy laugh and guarded eyes, hiding a whole life, a daughter. When we talked kids, he'd gone quiet, changing the subject to fly fishing. Lies by omission, or just pain he wasn't ready to share. That night, over venison stew he'd slow cooked, I probed gently. "Ever think about settling down? Family stuff." He paused, spoon midway to his mouth. "Tried once. Didn't stick. Some chapters close for a reason." His evasion stung, a crack in the trust we'd built. The high came crashing on day 6. We drove into Leavenworth for supplies, Bavarian-themed town decked in Christmas lights, even in October. Tourists snapping pics of gingerbread shops. Isaiah bought me a wool scarf from a street vendor, draping it around my neck with a wink. Suits you. Keeps the chill out. Back at the cabin, as dusk painted the lake in purples and golds. We walked the dock, that thermos of spiked cider between us. The air hummed with unspoken promises. This feels like a dream, I said, toes dangling over the edge. He turned, cup on my face, thumb tracing my jaw. Then let's make it real. Stay. After the week. See where this goes. I kissed him then, full and fierce, the world narrowing to his warmth, the water lapping below like applause. It was the most romantic moment of my life, sun dipping low, pines whispering approval, his heart beating steady against mine. No grand gestures, just us, raw and right. But dreams fracture easy. Day 7 dawned with betrayal's sharp edge. I woke to Isaiah's truck rumbling away before sunrise. No note. Just his coffee mug rinsed in the sink. Panic clawed my gut. I checked my email. Cancellation notice from Airbnb. Host ended stay early due to emergency. Emergency or regret? My phone lit up. Text from an unknown number. Stay away from Isaiah. He's poison. A friend. Attached photos. Isaiah at a bar in Tacoma. Arm around a woman. His ex? The kid. A pigtail girl on his shoulders. Beaming. But then, worse, him arguing with a uniformed man outside a courthouse. Faces blurred, but tension thick. The rumors Lena mentioned, twisted into accusations of violence. Of a man unhinged. I confronted him when he returned, mud-splattered and hollow-eyed. Where were you? He froze, dropping his keys. Court. Custody hearing. Lily's mom pulled some shit, said I'm unstable. The pieces slammed together. Why didn't you tell me? About her? About any of it? His face crumpled. Because you were. Light. First real thing in years. Didn't want to scare you off. Lies. Or half-truths. Those photos? Someone's been watching you. Warning me. His eyes widened. What? No. The fight exploded. Words like shrapnel. You think I'm some rebound fantasy? Hiding your mess like Mark hid his... I yelled, voice cracking. He fired back. You're running from your own shit. Daniel, this was 1 week. Not a lifetime contract, but deeper. I saw how you looked at me, like I could be enough. But I'm broken. Ex-army. Queer in a world that still chews us up. Lily's all I have left of normal. And if I lose her... He trailed off, fists clenched. The misunderstanding gutted me. He wasn't betraying me. He was protecting his daughter from a system rigged against gay dads. Yet the secrecy felt like a slap, echoing every time I'd been sidelined for easier loves. I packed that afternoon, rain sluicing down as I threw clothes into my bag. Isaiah stood in the doorway, rain matting his hair. Don't go like this. How else? With a smile. The door slammed behind me, engine roaring to life on the gravel drive. Seattle swallowed me back, gray skies, traffic snarls. The hum of coffee shops where baristas knew my order, but not my heart. Weeks blurred into a haze. Back in my studio apartment, Mark's ghost lingered in the empty fridge, but Isaiah haunted worse. Late-night scrolls through his sparse socials, pics of Lily at the zoo, his truck in the shop. No trace of us. I threw myself into work, graphic design gigs for queer nonprofits. But every rainbow flag mocked my solitude. Lena called. Heard from him? No. Give it time. That man's got walls thicker than the Cascades. The turning point came unbidden. 2 months later, at a holiday market in Pike Place. Turmoil of scents, cinnamon pretzels, evergreen boughs, crowds jostling under twinkling lights. I was browsing handmade ornaments, fingering a carved wooden heart, when a voice cut through. Daniel? Isaiah, bundled in a pea coat. Lily, tugging his glove, eyes wide with shock. Time stalled. She beamed up at me. Daddy, who's that? He knelt, whispering, then stood. Can we talk? Please. We walked to the waterfront. Fairy horns moaning in the sound. Salt wind whipping our faces. Lily skipped ahead, chasing gulls. I fucked up, he started, voice raw. After you left, the judge denied unsupervised visits. Said my volatile behavior, code for being gay and pissed off, endangered her. Lost my cool in court. Yelled at the lawyer. It was the photos. Daniel. My ex leaked them to smear me. Made it look like I was violent. The pieces clicked, the friend texts. The warnings. Not random. Targeted. Why me? To isolate you. He nodded. Bitter. She knows about the cabin listings. Thought if I had someone, it'd humanize me. Guess she was half right. Anger surged, not at him, but the machine grinding him down. You should have trusted me. I would have fought with you. He stopped, facing me. City lights haloing his silhouette. I know. That's why I came looking. Track your posts. Lily asked about the nice uncle from the woods. Said you made the best esmores. His hand found mine. Tentative. I'm done hiding. Therapy. Lawyers. The works. But I need you, if you'll have me. Not as a savior. As a partner. The decision tore at me. Echoes of Mark's half measures. The fear of more pain. But looking at him, scars and all, I saw the man who'd cracked me open on that dock. One step at a time, I said, squeezing his fingers. Starting with coffee. And telling Lily the truth about uncles who stick around. We met for that coffee the next day. A quiet spot in Belltown overlooking the Olympics. Lily colored on butcher paper, chattering about school, while Isaiah and I mapped a fragile path, joint counseling, co-parenting classes, weekend getaways that weren't escapes, but builds. It wasn't fireworks, it was foundations, slow dates at the symphony, arguments over dish duty that ended in laughter. The ache of his custody wins and losses shared over takeout pho. Spring thawed the sound, and with it, us. One evening, as cherry blossoms rain petals on Gasworks Park, we picnicked, blanket spread, wine poured, Lily asleep against my side. Isaiah leaned in, kissing my temple. You turned my wrong booking into right. I smiled, heart full. Nah, you did that. Life's not a fairy tale. No tidy bows on queer joy in America. Where courts still side-eyed dads like him. Where exes weaponize closets. But in the mess, we found mercy, forgiveness for secrets born of survival, understanding for walls built from betrayal's bricks. Isaiah got partial custody that summer. Lily's giggles filling his apartment on alternate weekends. I moved in by fall, our lives weaving his veteran support groups. My pride floats. Shared hikes where we held hands without glancing over shoulders. The turning point wasn't the cabin. It was choosing to turn back. In a country that loves its underdogs but forgets the cost, we carve space for two broken men to mend each other. Not perfect, but profoundly ours. And damn if that doesn't feel like winning. The key turned in the lock with a click that echoed like a gunshot in my chest. I pushed the door open to the cozy cabin, expecting solitude after the world's longest drive from Seattle. But there he was, Isaiah, broad-shouldered and rumpled in a flannel shirt, staring at me like I just crashed his funeral. Who the hell are you? He growled, his voice rough as gravel, eyes narrowing under that messy mop of dark curls. And in that split second, as rain hammered the roof like it was trying to drown us both, I realized I'd booked the wrong damn place and the right damn disaster. I dropped my duffel bag on the welcome mat, water pooling around my boots like spilled secrets. My phone buzzed in my pocket, another frantic text from my ex, Mark, begging me to come back to our sterile apartment in Capitol Hill. But I ignored it. This trip was supposed to be my escape, a week in the Washington woods to lick.